General Hospital spoilers reveal that Port Charles has been like a second home to me, with all its heartbreaks, triumphs, and those unforgettable twists that keep me coming back day after day. So when life throws real-world drama at one of our favorite actors like Steve Burton, it feels personal. I find myself sitting here in my favorite chair, coffee in hand, thinking about how Steve is navigating this painful custody battle with his ex-wife Sheree, and how it all mirrors the kind of emotional storms we see on screen with Jason Morgan. It stirs something deep in this old heart of mine. Let me tell you, I've followed Steve's journey from the very beginning. He brought Jason to life in a way no one else could. That quiet strength, the loyalty that runs bone deep, and those moments when you see the weight of the world on his shoulders. Right now, in real life, Steve is fighting hard for his daughter Brooklyn and the stability his children deserve. From what we've learned through court documents and reports, he's back in court trying to enforce the agreements they made after their divorce. Sheree has been making unilateral decisions that leave Steve feeling shut out, especially around visitation and big choices like programs that take Brooklyn away for weeks at a time. It breaks my heart, because I remember raising my own kids and how important it is for both parents to be there, steady and present. Steve has every right to stand up and say enough is enough. He's not asking for more than what the court already ordered: joint custody, fair time, and respect for the child's needs. Why does it have to be so hard? That's the question I keep asking myself, and I suspect many longtime fans are wondering the same. What's fascinating and a bit eerie is how this real-life struggle echoes Jason's current path on the show. Jason has always been the man who protects his family at all costs, even when it means stepping away or taking the fall. Lately, we've seen him carted off by the WSB, leaving Danny, Britt, and Carly wondering when or if he'll return. I keep thinking, doesn't this feel familiar? Steve pouring his energy into fighting for his kids in court while Jason fights shadows in Port Charles. Maybe it's the writers drawing from real emotions, or maybe it's just life imitating art again. Either way, it makes Jason's story hit harder for me. I've always believed Jason's core is family, even when the mob life pulls him in different directions. This temporary absence has left such a hole in Port Charles. Carly's alliance is shifting, Britt holding secrets, Danny growing up without his dad. It builds this quiet tension that I can feel in every episode. I have to admit, I've had my doubts about some recent storylines. Take Britt's return and all the questions swirling around her and Nathan. Will she risk telling Jason the full truth? In my opinion, and I could be wrong, but I've seen enough twists over the decades, this could be the spark that reignites something profound between them. Jason has always needed someone who understands his complicated world without trying to change him. Britt has that fire, that medical mind mixed with vulnerability. If the writers play it right, their reconnection could be one of the most satisfying arcs in years. But if they rush it or throw in unnecessary obstacles, it might fall flat. I've seen that happen before, and it frustrates me, because characters like Jason deserve stories that honor their history. And what about the bigger picture in Port Charles? Sonny's dilemmas, Laura's protective instincts, the lingering shadows of old enemies like those tied to Faison or Valentine's fallout. It all feels like a perfect storm building. I've watched the show long enough to know that when things seem scattered, they're actually weaving together for something explosive. The way Carly is stepping up, forming uneasy alliances, reminds me of the strong, fierce women who've always anchored this show. She's fighting for her daughter Jocelyn, too, in ways that feel raw and real. These parallel battles, parents fighting for their children on screen and off, create this emotional undercurrent that makes every episode feel urgent. You can sense the heat rising, can't you? The kind that makes you lean forward in your seat, wondering who will break first. Steve's return to the set in June gives me so much hope. Filming starts then, which means by late July or early August, Jason should be walking those familiar streets again. I picture him stepping back into the chaos, leather jacket on, eyes scanning for threats and for the people he loves. Will he find Britt waiting with revelations? Will Danny have grown in ways that challenge their bond? These are the questions keeping me up at night, in the best possible way. After all these months without him, his comeback feels like a promise fulfilled. Steve has handled his personal challenges with such grace, focusing on co-parenting therapy and fair schedules. That strength will translate straight into Jason. I truly believe it. Sometimes I wonder if the show could lean even more into these family themes. We've seen so many custody battles and parental struggles over the years. Michael and AJ, Elizabeth and the boys, now Jason potentially facing his own reckonings. What if Steve's real-life experiences subtly influence how Jason approaches fatherhood this time around? Not directly, of course, but in the emotional truth the actor brings. That's what makes General Hospital special, the way real hearts bleed into fictional ones. It keeps the show alive after all these decades. Don't get me wrong, there are moments when I shake my head at the pace or some choices. Why drag out certain secrets when the payoff could hit harder sooner? But then an episode airs that reminds me why I fell in love with this town. The quiet conversations at the Metro Court, the hospital corridors filled with tension, the waterfront scenes where truths come out under the stars. It's comfort and excitement all at once. With Steve heading back, I feel that familiar thrill building. Port Charles is about to get a whole lot more intense, and I, for one, cannot wait. To all my fellow longtime viewers out there, those of us who've stuck with the show through cast changes, writing shifts, and everything in between, hold on. The summer ahead looks promising. Jason's return isn't just about one character coming home, it's about restoring balance, reopening old wounds that need healing, and delivering the kind of drama that reminds us why we tune in. Steve Burton deserves peace in his personal life and success on screen. His fight for his children shows the same quiet determination that defines Jason. And in the end, isn't that what keeps us invested? The belief that even after the darkest times, family finds a way back. I'm counting the weeks until June, just like many of you. Let's enjoy every twist along the way, because General Hospital still knows how to make our hearts race after all these years. What a ride it's been, and what a ride it's going to be. Picture it. Jason returns quieter than ever, that steely gaze hiding the fire he's carried from his real-life battles, and right away the writers are throwing him into the deep end. From what the latest teases suggest, Jocelyn is in serious danger, tangled up in threats that Carly can't handle alone. Enter Jason, riding in like the protector he's always been, but this rescue isn't going to be clean or quiet. No, this one involves Cullum, that shadowy figure who's been pulling strings from the edges of Port Charles, the kind of villain who thinks he's untouchable. Jason's going to take him down, not just stop him, but eliminate the threat once and for all. I've seen Jason bend the rules before, but this feels different, raw, personal, and loaded with consequences that could ripple through every family in town. Why does this hit me so hard? Because it flips the script on what we've come to expect. Remember how Jason used to step back to keep the peace with Sunny or protect Carly from afar? This time, he's charging straight into the heart of it, rescuing Jocelyn in a way that forces everyone to confront the lines he's willing to cross. Cullum's network, those hidden alliances we've only glimpsed, won't survive the fallout. I keep asking myself, will this finally force Sunny to choose sides in a way he never has? Or will it pull Britt back into Jason's orbit with secrets that change their future forever? The answer comes quick, yes, and it's going to be explosive. Danny watching his dad return as a hero might heal old wounds, but the cost could tear open new ones for Carly and the whole Spencer clan. Steve's bringing something extra this summer. That quiet determination from his own custody fights pouring straight into Jason's scenes. It makes every standoff feel heavier, every quiet moment before the storm more electric. The tension isn't just, will Jason survive? It's what will Port Charles look like after he tears through Cullum's web? One rescue, one decisive strike, and suddenly the mob power shifts, old enemies resurface, and the hospital corridors buzz with whispers of what comes next. I've lived through the Luke and Laura eras, the Sonny and Brenda heartbreaks, but this has the makings of a summer that redefines the show. You can sense the heat already, can't you? The way the writers are layering these threads, Jocelyn's peril, Cullum's shadow, Jason's unyielding return, it's all set to detonate. No more slow burns. This is full-on eruption, the kind that leaves viewers breathless and begging for the next episode. Jason saving Jocelyn won't just save one life, it'll force every character to evolve or break. Britt might finally open her heart, Carly could find the strength to stand taller, and even Laura will have to navigate the chaos Jason leaves behind. As a fan who's cheered through every twist, I truly believe this is the shot in the arm General Hospital needs. Steve Burton isn't just returning, he's elevating Jason to a place of raw power and vulnerability we've never quite seen. The plot is about to blow wide open, and I, for one, am counting every day until June. Port Charles is on the brink, my friends, and the explosion is going to be unforgettable. What a time to be watching.